Have you heard about Turkey's new digital nomad visa? This is an exciting opportunity to come to one of the most unique cities in the world and make your dreams come true. In this guide, I'll be covering everything you need to know about digital nomads in Istanbul. From where to stay, how much it will cost you, the best areas to live, what kind of lifestyle you can expect, and all the necessary requirements so that you don't have any issues when applying for the visa. Let's get started. What is the digital nomad visa? In November 2021, the Turkish government launched a brand new program called the Digital Nomad Visa. It was created to attract remote workers and digital nomads to the country. You can stay in Turkey for up to 12 months and renew it again for another year if you wish. The great thing about this visa is that you do not need to have a job offer from a Turkish company. It's completely free to enter and you won't pay anything for health insurance. However, you will need to have some money in your bank account. You will need to show that you have at least 18,000 Turkish lira or the equivalent in US dollars or euros each month. That's around $2,000 or 1,750 euros. Once you have that, you're good to go. Can you work in Turkey with this visa? With the digital nomad visa, you cannot work in Turkey, but you can work remotely for your international company. Requirements and documents. To apply for this visa, you will need to be a citizen of one of these countries. If you are not from one of these countries, you will not be able to apply for this visa. Now, you will need to have a valid passport. Your passport must be at least 6 months before the expiration date. You will need a clean criminal record document issued by your home country. You will need proof of income, such as bank statements for the last 3 months showing that you have sufficient funds to support yourself during your stay in Turkey. A rental agreement of your accommodation in Turkey. Make sure that this is on the same address. You will need a copy of the title deed of the property if you're renting an apartment or the tapu. A completed online visa application form. You can find this link in the description below. You will also need a photograph in the size of 3.5 by 4.5 cm and 5 photographs in the size of 4 by 6 for your passport. You will need to pay the service fee and the bank receipt of your payment. You will also need a health declaration form and your vaccination certificate. You can get this form from the Turkish Embassy website. How long can you stay in Turkey with the digital nomad visa? When you first arrive, you can stay for 90 days. After 90 days, you need to leave the country and then re-enter. But if you plan to stay longer than a year, you should contact a local immigration lawyer to check all the options available for you. What is the cost of living in Istanbul? Istanbul is very affordable, and it's easy to live on $1,000 a month. It's possible to find accommodation from $600 per month. For internet, you can expect to pay around $50 a month. Food can be between $300 and $500, depending on your lifestyle. Transportation is very cheap, and you can spend around $50 a month. Entertainment and other expenses are very variable, and they depend on your lifestyle. So you can expect to spend around $200, and that's how it adds up to $1,000 a month. Best areas to live in Istanbul. There are many great areas to live in Istanbul. It depends on your preferences, but here are some suggestions. If you want to be close to nature and enjoy greenery, you should consider living in one of these areas. They are located on the Asian side of Istanbul. If you want to live in the city center, then you should choose one of these areas. Here, you will be surrounded by iconic landmarks and experience the real Turkish lifestyle. If you prefer a quieter place, then check out these areas. These neighborhoods are located on the European side of Istanbul. What kind of lifestyle can you expect in Istanbul? Well, Istanbul is a very busy city with a lot of traffic and noise pollution. It's a developing city that is growing rapidly. The cost of living is rising, but it's still lower than other big cities. Public transportation is excellent. There are buses, the metro, the funicular, ferries, taxis, and ride-sharing services like Uber. If you're looking for a quiet and relaxed life, Istanbul may not be the best option for you. But if you want an exciting and vibrant city, then you will love it here. Climate. Istanbul has a humid climate with warm summers and cold winters. The best time to visit is in the spring or fall. What to wear? Dress comfortably in layers since the weather can change quickly. In the summer, bring sunscreen and a hat since the sun can be strong. In the winter, bring a warm jacket, gloves, and a scarf. Safety. Istanbul is a safe city, but like any other big city, there are pickpockets and scammers. Be aware of your surroundings and don't flash your cash. If you're walking alone at night, stick to well-lit areas and take a taxi instead of using public transportation. Healthcare. Healthcare in Turkey is excellent and affordable. You can get travel insurance that covers you for medical expenses. Taxes. As a digital nomad, you will not have to pay taxes in Turkey. However, you may still have to pay taxes in your home country, so make sure to check with your local tax office. Internet speed. Internet speed in Turkey is excellent, especially in Istanbul. You can expect to get fiber optic internet with speeds of up to 1 gigabit per second. Where to stay in Istanbul? There are many different places to stay in Istanbul. You can find hostels starting from $20 a night, guest houses from $50, boutique hotels from $100, and luxury hotels from $200. You can find apartments on Airbnb starting from $60 a night. Transportation. Getting around Istanbul is very easy. There are many different ways to get around the city. You can use the metro, which is the fastest and cheapest way to get around. Or you can use the funicular, which is a type of train that runs on a steep incline. There are also ferries that go back and forth between the two continents. Taxis are widely available and they're relatively cheap. However, they can be expensive if you don't agree on the price beforehand. Ride-sharing services are also available in Istanbul, and they're usually cheaper than taxis. There are also buses that go all over the city, but they can get crowded. Is it easy to open a bank account? Yes, it's easy to open a bank account in Turkey. You can open a bank account with your passport and a copy of your residence permit. What should you do if you have problems? If you have any problems while you're in Turkey, you can contact the nearest police station or the Turkish embassy. What kind of lifestyle can you expect as a digital nomad in Istanbul? As a digital nomad in Istanbul, you can expect to live a very comfortable lifestyle. The cost of living is low, and you can find accommodation starting from just $600 a month. The food is delicious, and there are many different places to eat. You can also find co-working spaces, and the internet speed is excellent. The climate is warm and sunny most of the year, and there are many different places to explore. Is Istanbul worth visiting? Yes, Istanbul is definitely worth visiting. It's a beautiful city with a lot to offer. The history, culture, food, and people make it a unique destination. Can you work in Turkey? No, you cannot work in Turkey with this visa. You can only work for your international company, but if you want to work in Turkey, you can apply for a work permit. Are there any other visas for digital nomads in Turkey? Yes, there is a visa for remote workers who want to live in the country, but the requirements are stricter, and you will need to have a job offer from a Turkish company. What should you pack for your trip? Make sure to pack comfortable shoes since you'll be doing a lot of walking. Also pack light clothing for the summer and warm clothing for the winter. Don't forget your swimsuit since the beaches are beautiful. And lastly, pack a universal adapter since the outlets are different in Turkey. So now you know everything about the digital nomad visa in Turkey. Hopefully this video has answered all your questions. Hey fellow nomads, today I want to take you on a little tour through my favorite secret spots in Istanbul that are perfect for digital nomads. These are places that aren't as well known among tourists, but they have everything a nomad could need: good internet, comfortable spaces, and of course, great coffee. Let's get started. First up, we have the newly opened WeWork in Istanbul's financial district. This WeWork is located in the Maslak area, which is known for its modern skyscrapers and bustling business atmosphere. It's easily accessible by public transportation, with the nearest metro station just a few steps away. The co-working space itself is located on the 8th floor of the building, and it offers stunning views of the city. Inside, you'll find a variety of flexible workspaces, from private offices to hot desks, as well as meeting rooms and event spaces. One thing I particularly like about this WeWork is the design. It has that typical WeWork vibe with plenty of natural light, stylish furniture, and plants everywhere. They also offer all the amenities you need to stay productive, including fast Wi-Fi, printers, and scanners. And if you get hungry, there's a cafe on site where you can grab a coffee or a snack. Plus, there are plenty of restaurants and cafes in the surrounding area. I'd recommend checking out the rooftop terrace, which offers amazing views of the skyline. It's a great place to relax during your breaks or to meet new people. Next, let's head to the trendy neighborhood of Nisan and check out another cool co-working space called Impact Hub. This one is a bit different from the typical co-working spaces because it's more than just a place to work. Impact Hub is a community of entrepreneurs and innovators who are passionate about making an impact in the world. As such, you'll find a lot of like-minded people here who are working on exciting projects. In addition to the usual co-working amenities, Impact Hub also offers a range of workshops, events, and classes on topics related to entrepreneurship, innovation, and social impact. For example, I recently attended a workshop on digital transformation, which was led by an expert in the field. It was a small group setting, so I had plenty of opportunities to ask questions and share my thoughts. Another cool thing about Impact Hub is its focus on sustainability. They have a rooftop garden, and they try to reduce their environmental impact as much as possible. You can also participate in their volunteer program and give back to the community. So, if you're looking for a co-working space that's a little different, and that offers more than just a desk, Impact Hub is definitely worth checking out. Just keep in mind that the environment is a bit more relaxed and not as formal as in some other co-working spaces. So it might not be the best option if you need a quiet place to focus. But if you're looking for a place to connect with like-minded people and to learn new skills, Impact Hub is perfect. The next spot is a little hidden gem of a cafe called Coffee Room. I stumbled upon this place while walking around the Galata port, and it quickly became one of my favorite cafes in the city. What makes Coffee Room special is its cozy and intimate atmosphere. It's the perfect place to sit back with a good book and a cup of coffee or to catch up with some work. The cafe is located in a historic building with high ceilings and wooden beams, and the decor is a mix of vintage and modern furniture, giving it a unique and eclectic feel. But what really sets Coffee Room apart is its coffee. They use locally roasted beans, and they know how to make a perfect cup. Whether you prefer your coffee hot or cold, they have something for everyone. And if you're feeling hungry, they also serve a variety of delicious sandwiches and salads. Prices are reasonable and the quality is top-notch. So if you're in the area, I highly recommend checking it out. Another great spot for nomads is the Zurich Palace Hotel, which has a fantastic co-working space on the 23rd floor with an incredible view over the Bosporus. You don't even need to stay at the hotel to use the space. All you need is a day pass, and you have access to fast Wi-Fi, ergonomic chairs and desks, and all the power outlets you need. There's also a printer and scanner available, so you can take care of any last-minute work-related tasks. The space is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is perfect for those who like to work early in the morning or late at night. And if you need a break from working, you can head up to the 24th floor, where you'll find a rooftop terrace with stunning views of the city. It's the perfect place to relax and recharge during your lunch break or after work. Now, the only downside of this spot is that it can get a bit busy during peak hours, since it's also open to the public. So if you prefer a quieter work environment, you might want to go earlier in the morning or later in the evening. But overall, the convenience and stunning views make it a great spot for nomads to work remotely. Plus, if you get hungry, there are plenty of restaurants and cafes in the area, so you won't have to go far to find food. Now, if you're looking for something a bit more off the beaten path, I'd recommend checking out the Kora Church, which has recently been converted into a cultural center. The church dates back to the 6th century, and it's one of the best preserved Byzantine buildings in Istanbul. The interior is absolutely stunning, with beautiful frescoes and mosaics. And the courtyard is a peaceful oasis in the middle of the city. The Cultural Center offers a variety of activities, including art exhibitions, concerts, and workshops. And it's also a great place for digital nomads to work remotely. There are plenty of quiet corners and secluded courtyards where you can get some work done without distractions, and the unique atmosphere will inspire your creativity. Just keep in mind that the church is closed on Mondays and it's only open to visitors between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. But if you're able to visit, I highly recommend it. And last but certainly not least, we have the famous Para Palace Hotel, which has a luxurious co-working space on the 6th floor. If you're looking for a place to work that will impress your clients and business partners, this is it. The co-working space is located in the historic Orient Room, which was frequented by famous writers and artists in the early 20th century. The room has been beautifully restored, and it retains its original charm while offering all the modern amenities you need. From comfy armchairs and sofas to standing desks and high-tech meeting rooms, you'll have everything you need to stay productive and entertained. There's also a library where you can browse books and magazines or curl up with a good read. And if you need a break from working, you can head up to the rooftop terrace where you'll find a heated pool and stunning views of the city. Of course, all this luxury comes at a price. A day pass costs 200 Turkish lira, which is around $10 US. But it's definitely worth the splurge if you want to experience a little bit of old-world glamour. So there you have it. My favorite secret spots in Istanbul for digital nomads. Did you know that the number of digital nomads in the world has increased by 629% since 2019? Yep, more and more people are ditching the 9-to-5 grind and becoming location independent. Today, we're highlighting a city that made it to our top digital nomad destinations in the world. The city is Istanbul. Istanbul is a dynamic, historic, and enchanting city that offers something for everyone. It's a great place to visit or live. Its strategic location between Europe and Asia makes it a melting pot of cultures, and its rich history dates back thousands of years. But if you're considering moving to this bustling metropolis, you'll be pleased to know that it also boasts a thriving digital nomad scene. So whether you're an entrepreneur, freelancer, or remote worker, Istanbul has everything you need to make your nomadic dreams come true. Let's explore why. Before we begin, subscribe for all the latest travel updates and tips. Like and share with a friend. Why choose Istanbul? Well, there are plenty of reasons. Firstly, it's a very affordable city to live in. Compared to other major European cities, Istanbul offers a low cost of living, which means you can stretch your budget further and enjoy all that the city has to offer without breaking the bank. Plus, it's a very welcoming city. Istanbul is known for its hospitality and friendliness. Whether you're looking to network with other digital nomads or make local friends, you'll find that the people of Istanbul are always happy to lend a helping hand. And let's not forget about the weather. With its Mediterranean climate, Istanbul enjoys warm summers and mild winters, making it a great destination to live in year-round. The city is also home to some of the most beautiful beaches in the region. So if you're looking for a change of pace, you can always head to the coast and soak up some sun. What's more, Istanbul has a thriving expat community, so you won't feel alone in this new city. There's plenty to do in terms of entertainment and leisure activities. From exploring the city's rich history and culture to indulging in its delicious cuisine, Istanbul has something for everyone. But before you pack your bags, it's important to know what visa you'll need to enter the country. For most nationalities, including US, UK, and Canadian citizens, you don't need a visa for stays up to 90 days. However, if you plan to stay longer, you will need to apply for a residence permit. You can do this through the Turkish embassy or consulate in your home country. It's important to note that the process can take several weeks, so plan ahead. Oh, and don't forget to check the latest travel restrictions and requirements before you go. Okay? Now that you know the entry requirements, let's talk about what you need to get your remote work done. Fortunately, Istanbul has plenty of options for digital nomads. One of the best things about Istanbul is the abundance of co-working spaces. These spaces offer a great way to meet other nomads, connect with locals, and immerse yourself in the Turkish way of life. Some of the best co-working spaces in the city include the Istanbul Co-working Space. the first and largest co-working space in Turkey. It offers a wide range of services from high-speed internet and printing facilities to meeting rooms and event spaces. There's also WeWork, a global co-working brand that has a presence in Istanbul. It offers stylish and modern workspaces with a strong focus on community building. And let's not forget about Impact Hub, a co-working space with a social mission to empower entrepreneurs and innovators to make a positive impact on the world. As for internet speed, Nomadly reports that the average download speed in Istanbul is 174 megabits per second, which is pretty fast compared to other cities around the world. As for accommodation, there are plenty of options available. One of the most popular areas for digital nomads is the trendy neighborhood of Galata. It's located in the heart of Istanbul and offers easy access to the city's main attractions. Plus, it's home to a number of co-working spaces and cafes that are perfect for remote workers. If you're looking for something quieter, you can head to the Asian side of Istanbul, where you'll find a more laid-back atmosphere and plenty of green space. When it comes to safety, Istanbul is generally a safe city for digital nomads. However, like any major city, it's important to take precautions to protect yourself and your belongings. Be sure to avoid walking alone in deserted areas at night, and keep your valuables out of sight. Now let's talk about the most important aspect of living in Istanbul, the cost of living. It's no secret that Istanbul is one of the most affordable cities in the world for digital nomads. The average cost of living in Istanbul is around $1,500 per month, which is significantly lower than many other major cities. In fact, Nomad Capitalist ranked Istanbul as the third cheapest city in the world for digital nomads. Accommodation is the biggest expense for nomads in Istanbul, with an average cost of $500 per month. This can vary depending on your lifestyle and preferences, but you can easily find a decent one-bedroom apartment in a central location for under $600. Food is another major expense for digital nomads, and Istanbul is definitely a foodie's paradise. You can find everything from traditional Turkish dishes to international cuisine. And the best part is that it's all very affordable. On average, you can expect to spend around $300 per month on food in Istanbul. That's just $10 per day, so you can definitely eat well without breaking the bank. Transportation is another important factor to consider when calculating the cost of living. Istanbul has an excellent public transportation system that is very affordable. A single ticket costs around 30 cents, and you can use it to travel on the metro, bus, or tram. Taxis are also readily available, but they can be a little more expensive. However, if you're staying in Istanbul for an extended period, it might be worth investing in a taxi. Now let's talk about what you can actually do while you're in Istanbul. The city has something to offer everyone. If you're interested in history and culture, be sure to visit the Hagia Sophia, the Blue Mosque, and the Topkapi Palace. Istanbul is also home to a number of museums, including the Istanbul Archaeological Museums and the Turkish and Islamic Arts Museum. If you're more interested in shopping and dining, you'll love the Istiklal Street and the Grand Bazaar. These areas are full of shops, restaurants, and cafes serving everything from traditional Turkish cuisine to international fare. And finally, if you're looking for some relaxation, be sure to check out the Turkish baths. This is a unique cultural experience that you won't forget. Now let's talk about what you should pack for your trip to Istanbul. First and foremost, be sure to pack comfortable shoes. You'll be doing a lot of walking, so it's important to have comfortable footwear. Secondly, pack light clothing. Istanbul can get very hot in the summer months, so it's important to pack accordingly. And don't forget to pack a sweater or jacket for the cooler months. Finally, be sure to pack an adapter. The standard voltage in Turkey is 220 volts, and the frequency is 50 hertz. The type of plug used in Turkey is the European 2-pin plug. So, if you're coming from the US or Canada, you will need an adapter. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Istanbul. It's a truly unique and unforgettable destination that offers something for everyone. So if you're a digital nomad looking for your next adventure, be sure to add Istanbul to your list. I'm a professional digital nomad and travel content creator living the location-independent lifestyle for the past 6 years, traveling to over 40 countries. And now I have based myself in Turkey for the foreseeable future, and here is why. And so we are going to cover 3 things today. Number 1, what are the best places to stay in Istanbul if you want to be a digital nomad? No. 2, the best places to work from. And number 3, my favorite places to explore in Istanbul. Let's get into it. So let's talk about where to stay. We have 2 options. You can either base yourself in Karakoy, or you can base yourself in the area of Shilimbar. So Karakoy is more central. It's where all the action happens, but it does come at a premium price because this is the most prime real estate in the city. So if you're looking for somewhere to stay that's still close to everything but maybe a little bit cheaper, you can head just across the Galata Bridge into Shilimbar. And both areas have co-working spaces. Both areas have tons of cafes. They're really well connected. Both areas have lots of accommodation options, and they also both have metro connections to get you around the city, so they're very easy to get to. If you land in Istanbul, you will probably land at the new airport, which is around 30 to 40 miles outside of the city. And I would say, definitely do not take a taxi. The taxi will cost you at least $200 to get to the city center. There are 2 other options. One is to take the Havaist bus, which runs from the airport to Taksim Square, and that costs $18. But you have to book it online in advance, and you need to have a credit card to do so. So if you don't have a credit card, or if you just don't feel like planning ahead, you can also just take the metro, which is very convenient, and it's actually really cheap at only $3.50. All you do is buy the Istanbul cart, which you can use on any public transport, and then you just take the metro line from the airport all the way to the city center. It takes around 40 minutes, and that gets you right to the main train station in the city center. From there, you can just take a cab for $5 or $10 depending on where you're going to get to your accommodation. Or if you're feeling really adventurous, you can take the ferry across the water to Karakoy from the main train station. The ferry ride takes around 10 minutes and it costs only 25 cents. That's right, only 25 cents. Now, if you do decide to base yourself in Karakoy, which I highly recommend doing for at least part of your stay, I would recommend staying around the area of Taksim Square or around the Istiklal Street area. This is where all the action is. If you want to be in the heart of the historical peninsula, you'll love staying around this area. Another great thing about staying around this area is that all of the main tourist attractions are within walking distance. So if you want to go see the famous Galata Tower, you can walk there in 5 minutes. If you want to go check out the Spice Bazaar or the Grand Bazaar, they're also within walking distance. If you want to head down to the waterfront, you can do that within a 5 to 10 minute walk. And if you want to go exploring some of the amazing mosques, you can do that as well. Staying around this area means that you're within walking distance of literally everything that this city has to offer. And since everything is so spread out, having the ability to walk everywhere is a huge perk. Plus, you won't have to worry about taking taxis or ride-sharing services, which can be expensive. Taxis, especially in this area, tend to charge tourist prices because they know that tourists don't really know the city and they're willing to pay those prices. Ride-sharing services are a little bit better, but they're still not perfect. Sometimes they can cancel on you. Sometimes the drivers don't really know the city that well. So having a place to stay where you can walk everywhere is definitely a plus. In terms of internet speed, the internet speed in Istanbul is fantastic. So wherever you choose to stay in Istanbul, you'll probably have no problems with the internet speed. In terms of safety, I do think that Istanbul is a safe city, but there are certain areas that I wouldn't recommend walking around alone at night. For example, the area around Taksim Square can be quite crowded during the day, but I would not recommend being here alone at night just because there are lots of pickpockets around, and it can be pretty easy to get scammed. Other areas around Istiklal Street can also be pretty busy and crowded, so just be aware of your surroundings. It's always good to be aware of your surroundings when you're traveling and when you're in a big city. But overall, I do feel safe here. and as long as you're aware of your surroundings, you should be fine. There are two main co-working spaces in the Karaköy area. One is called the Istanbul co-working space, and it's located right next to the Marmaray train station. It's a beautiful co-working space. It has high-speed internet. It's open 24 hours. They also have an option to rent a private office, and you can also rent a desk if you're working remotely. The second place to stay is the Shelabar area. Now, Shelabar is located just across the Galata Bridge from Karaköy. It's a little bit more residential than Karaköy. It's a little bit quieter, but it's still very close to everything. To get to Karaköy, all you have to do is walk across the bridge, and you're there. It takes 10 minutes, and you're in the middle of Karaköy. In terms of co-working spaces in Şalamber, we have two main options. The first one is called Şalamber Hub. It's located right next to the Galata port, and it's easily accessible by foot from anywhere in Şalamber. It's a great co-working space with lots of natural light and a rooftop terrace. The second option is to go to Tokapi, which is a cafe in Çilebars that has fast Wi-Fi and lots of locals working there. It's a great spot to work from. It's got a beautiful view of the Golden Horn, and it's just a great vibe to work from. It's also a lot cheaper than the co-working spaces. Now, both of these neighborhoods have plenty of cafes to choose from when it comes to coffee. I would say that the coffee here is some of the best I've ever had in my life. So if you're a coffee lover, you're gonna have a field day here. My personal favorite cafe is called Coffee Room, but there are many other great cafes to choose from. When it comes to food, there are also plenty of options. Istanbul is a foodie paradise, and honestly, no matter where you go in the city, you're going to find great food. If you're looking for something a little bit more upscale, you can head over to the Rumeli Fortress area, and you'll find lots of great restaurants there. Or, if you're looking for something a little bit more casual, you can head to the Galata port area, and you'll find lots of great cafes and restaurants there as well. If you want to experience the true Turkish cuisine, I would recommend getting the Istanbul cart, which will get you unlimited rides on all public transportation. With this card, you can hop on any bus, tram, or subway and travel anywhere in the city for only $1.50 per month. All right, let's talk about my favorite places to explore in Istanbul. The first one is definitely the Galata Sea. You can wander through the streets and admire the beautiful architecture, or you can head up to the Galata Tower for stunning views of the city. The second place to explore is, of course, the famous Spice Bazaar and the Grand Bazaar. These bazaars are full of history and culture, and you can find anything you want here, from spices to leather goods to carpets and much more. If you're looking for something a little bit more unique, I would recommend checking out the shops along Istiklal Street. Here, you'll find everything from local crafts to handmade jewelry to Turkish delight and much more. I would also recommend checking out the trendy neighborhood of Chiang Mai. Here, you'll find lots of great cafes, restaurants, and boutiques. And last but not least, don't forget to check out the Blue Mosque and the Hagia Sophia. These two iconic landmarks are must-sees when you're in Istanbul. That wraps up our guide to Istanbul for digital nomads. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you consider making Istanbul your next digital nomad destination. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.